Nitwa Ayinkamiye Louise.
Mr. President, my name is Louise Ayinkamiye from the Western Province in Ngororero District, Arinjye village. At that time it was the prefecture of Kibuye, the commune of Kivumu, before the system was changed. I'm married and a mother of 5. Mr. President, let me announce here that what is going to be said, what I'm going to say, was experienced by a 10-year-old. I was very young. I was 5. A lot of things that happened to me, I didn't understand them. I understood them later. We were 6 siblings, 6 girls, 6 boys, but 3 girls, 3 boys. We lived a normal life of an ordinary family. But the only difference was that we were Tutsi by ethnicity, and therefore we lived in constant insecurity. In the Kiliziya district, between 10 and 15, more than 350 people in my neighborhood were killed, including my family. So I started feeling that maybe I don't have a right to live. Every night they would come, every night they shout at our door, and they would hear whistles. And then our parents would try and take us by the back door to the church or to a school, a classroom, somewhere to hide. I remember that even when I was at school, as a school girl, we were 2 Tutsis at that time, 2 surviving Tutsis. And the teacher would say, Tutsis, stand up. And the Tutsis would stand up, we would stand up. And I couldn't understand that, because they would point fingers at us. And were excluded. It's like we were not part of the community. We were ashamed because we were fingered. Now, on the 7th April, we were home. It was announced that President Habyarimana had died, but of course I was too young to understand what that meant. He died, it's sad, but I could see that other people were very frightened. There was a panic. The parents, the children, by that time we were 5 children at home, and mom and dad, dad was not there because he had gone to visit to Gitarama to visit a relative who was ill. So actually the genocide started without him. He couldn't leave Kabgai where he'd gone to see his relative, and that's how he survived. And the rest of us, the rest of my family died. There was also another sibling who had traveled. He also survived. And we had an aunt who was a nun in a convent in Mukarangi. She also survived. But on the 7th, we had another relatives, other relatives who are on another hill across ours. There were a lot of people in that family, many members of that family that we knew. They were all decimated. So, my sister said, our older sister, she said to us young people, she said, go to the church of Nyange, the parish church. I said, why don't I go to my godmother because I had just been baptized a short while ago, and I had a godmother. And I said, if I could go to my godmother, I think I will survive. Because the church, there is no use in going to the churches because people have been massacred in churches. So mother said, well,
navuye mu rugo nzamukana n'umukuru wanjye n'umusaza wanjye mutoya abandi basaza banjye bakuru babiri bari mu rugo bari bagiye kwahura amatungo hanyuma tugeze ahantu twatangira bajya ku Kiliziya nanjye ngakomereza aho yitwaga Numvaga aho nari ngiye kwihisha mukuru wanjye arandeba
and she said, well,
Imana nikugirira neza tugashobora kurokoka tuzongera tubonane.
Go if we survive, we'll meet again.
Ntabwo nongeye kumubona ukundi.
But she died. I never saw her again.
Yakomereje ku Kiliziya n'umusaza wanjye mutoya.
So I walked to the church with my younger brother. Was with me, my younger brother, and we went to the family of my godmothers. Let me just come back and explain what happened to those who went to hide in the church. I wasn't there, but we told the story to see if anybody had survived. But in fact, all we had was their death, so dead.
nimugoroba umunsi ukurikiye mukuru wanjye bari bashonje ajyana agasaza kanjye gato bajya mu babikira bari tuziranye ku muryango wabo niwo mukuru wanjye yaragiye kwihama Imana bagenda nk'abagiye gusaba ibyo kurya hanyuma mukuru wanjye arya urwara agasaza kanjye ukatamukurikira bavayo agasaza kanjye kaje kurokoka amakuru yo yambwiye nyine uko byagenze kugira ngo asigare babikira mukuru wanjye yasubiye ku Kiliziya ngo yari arimo papa wanjye abasaza banjye babiri papa yagerageje kubashyira mu miryango ngo babahishe ariko ntibyakunda bahita babazana ku Kiliziya nabo aho umugambi wo kubicira wari uteganyijwe hanyuma babaye mu Kiliziya bagerageza kwirwanaho ko bashoye ntibyakunda kubera ko ku itariki 16 z'ukwezi kwa kane nibwo Padiri Seromba wari uyoboye Kiliziya ya Nyange yatanze uburenganzira bwo gusenya Kiliziya yose kugira ngo bizere neza ko abatutsi bose bari bahungiyemo barangiye kwicwa Kiliziya barayihiritse ubuzima bwacu bose burangirira aho ngaho.
So they destroyed the church, and that was the end of my family. You just it fell over them. So I thought I was the only survivor.
nari naragiye mu muryango kwa Marene
that I had gone to my godmother's house.
umugore wahigwaga umugabo adahigwa umugabo yari umwarimu umugore ari umugrefie w'urukiko baramukomeye hanyuma akaba umusozi utari hafi y'iwacu umwe hari mu muringo baguha ahandi iwacu ari Murambi yewe nari umwana muto ku myaka 11 ntabwo abantu benshi baho bari banzi ariko rwari ruririmo uwo mubyeyi hahoraga ibitero buri munsi bazaga kubatera kadusohora twese tugahagarara hanze ariko ngera muri urwo rugo umugabo nyir'urugo yarambwiye arabirebye barabibona ko mpahungiye arambwira ati nihagira umuntu ukubaza uwo uri we ujye uvuga ko uri umwana wawe yambwiye izina rya mukuru we wabaga i Kigali atujye babwira ko waje mu kiruhuko hano muri vakansi hanyuma ndabifata cyakora ntabimbajije baradusohoraga tugahagarara hanze ku mugaragaro habura ibitero birimo byinshi intwaro zose bakoreshaga umutima ukansimbuka akaduhagarika hanze twese ariko nareba amasura nkabona ntahanze bakinjira mu rugo bagasahura ibintu byose bakabimena
break what they can take, saying that they are looking for my godmother who was hiding from them because they did what they could to protect me. Sometimes they spend the whole night taking those who had run to them, hiding them in the bushes, then having to move them to another place and so on. And they try their best because they too had been attacked and the food there was no food. It was horrible. Anyway, a day came when somebody came and said, now this is your day, and I don't think we can hide you anymore. So somebody came and said, let me go and hide her. So I went away with that person. They said, we have to go and hide that person to that house, to the house over there. That will be probably safer. But we went to that house, and the woman had also her husband and her children as well. She was the only survivor. So we left that place. We had to try to hide somewhere else. And we met another group of but I managed to hide from them. And I continue to find hiding places. So that lasted the whole month of April, and then May, and then we were at the beginning of June. So the rumor started to run around that now the Inhotanyi, RPF, have come, and Interahamwe are starting to run. But before running, they killed whoever they couldn't kill. My godmother, who was a Tutsi, and her husband was a Tutsi, the husband had tried his best to protect us and hide his wife and so on. But in the end, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. The second family that I had tried to hide with had to leave the house. So they walked to a place called Rufungo, and they found a roadblock, those roadblocks manned by Interahamwe terrorists, and they killed them. And we were still hiding, managed to hide, but I can't continued. Some other children that I could find who were also orphans, smallish children. And they said, the elder daughter said, so anyway, we went to a house, we found a house to hide where there was nobody except the children who had managed to hide. And then these children said, what do I do? What do I do to find food? So somebody said, well, why don't you go to the convent? There's a convent over there. So I went to the convent. When I got to the convent, I found that we found a car by the convent. Somebody put us in the car, in a pickup, and covered us with a tarpaulin. And then drove us away, and we kept saying that this is just his luggage, his goods. These are just his goods in the car. So I went to a place. I reached a barrier. I didn't know whether the people I was with were Hutus or Tutsis. I didn't know who they were. I was just walking away. And none of my family were there. Even my brother, who eventually survived, I didn't know where he was. So I was alone with these people. So I sat down. I moved aside from the group. I sat down on a stone and I started crying. And a woman came by and she said, "Stop crying. Why are you crying?" He said, "Well, I don't know where to go. I have nobody." She said, "Don't worry. Even though these people have nobody, just like you, just walk. Just go on. Just try to run away. Don't give up." So I did, and eventually we just sort of moved to a place following others, and we found a place where we could hide rather. But they said, don't go further. There are groups of Interahamwe who are on rampage over there, and they're killing all the survivors. So somebody said, okay, let's stay here. And then staying here, I started being afraid because I could hear the shouts. And then, in any case, I said, how can I stay here? I don't know anybody. These people are strangers. I'm sure all my family is dead. But anyway, I wasn't. Somebody said, well, stay here. Stay, you can't go anywhere. Anyway, eventually we found a car. Somebody came, took us in a car. It was a pickup, but we were not covered. They said, just go on. Just go on. So they dropped us somewhere. And then they said, just walk. So as we walked past that, we saw there were trucks of, and they were explained that these are in Hotanyi, these are RPF, because we were in a turquoise zone, and there had been an agreement for RPF to be allowed to pick up the refugees who were in that zone. So So here I thank you, Mr. President, because this is how we were saved. Anyway, they took us somewhere, on a safe place, and eventually heard that my mother had survived, that one of my brothers had survived, that one of the elder brothers had joined the RPF, and he was also there. He was survived. Eventually, well, let me just conclude that we were rescued, we were helped. I went back to school. I went to university as well. Even the university degree, I got it myself. I paid for myself. So that's my life. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for putting an end to the genocide, giving us back our life. Today, I have my elder child is 11. The age I had when during the genocide. He's healthy. He's okay. He's not destroyed like I was. He's just a fine young person. And that's thanks to you. Thank you very much. And we want to promise that we survivors, we are strong. We'll build the country. We'll do it together. Thank you very much. Good commemoration.